Welcome to Live on One, a new special edition. Here at you. Oh man,
that's right.
So I was told to keep my corny introduction, but welcome to Live on One. We're here today because if you haven't heard, which it is possible if you were living your life this weekend that you haven't heard or are just overwhelmed and haven't dived into some of this stuff, but Marvel Crisis Protocol has decided to change a lot of things about how you play this game and the character rules and just a ton of new characters on the horizon. So AMG had their, what do you call that? Like a miniature or something or other reveal?
Ministravaganza, Borg.
Ministravaganza.
Yep, that was just what happened today.
Okay. And so they decided to do that. And we were initially thinking on this episode where I floated the idea of doing like a live stream, and then we decided to take some time to process, like do not a live stream, but like record while the reveals were going. Instead, we decided to take some time to process, which I'm so glad that we did, because my initial reactions were a lot more volatile, I think, than when I settled down and started thinking about it. So kind of the structure of this kind of like a bonus episode, I guess, I don't know, of this kind of review and just like raising some questions as you listeners and everyone out there starts to like wrap their head around all that this means for the game that we love and we're playing. We're gonna kind of just go through the spoilers first, the new models that are coming out, in order to just kind of talk about basically, the like fluffy stuff is like, who's coming out, like, oh, cool, stuff like that. And then we're going to talk about the giant character document that came out with like 17 additional character changes. Some of them are relatively minor. Some of them are pretty major in the way that these characters will run on the table. And then even more major than that, we're going to go over the core rules changes that have occurred, and even including roster building turn 0. So we're going to act as if you haven't necessarily read all these things or dived into it. You may have, you may not, depends, but we'll go a little bit more in depth too, and like raise questions and just talk about like the impact that a lot of this stuff has, or like ideas we might have moving forward. A good intro to this? Yeah?
Yeah, I would say so. So yeah.
But what would you correct?
No, I mean, me and Sean are here to just like give you backup as we sort of all, as a group, experience like the emotionals, like ups and downs, but mostly emotional ups from this huge update. Like this far exceeded my expectation as far as of any sort of update that we would have gotten.
Oh yeah, I guess like first off the bat, like we can do like a slight initial reactions. Like, but I think we're all on the same page. But like Jin, like you said, like this was not what I was expecting. Like I went to lie down after I watched the update and like take a like an afternoon nap, and my mind was just spinning. I was like, this does not ever happen with like a game. I like couldn't turn it off. I was like, well, what about this? What is the implication? You know what I mean? So it's crazy. I was not expecting this kind of big update today. How about you, Sean? Because you're this is more or less you were doing things during the day, so like you kind of just got home and are having that ability to process some of this.
Dude, I'm just here so you guys can tell me what to play now.
Spider foes.
You're
so right.
Yeah, double down, Spider foes, man. It's like
Goblin got better. Goblin beneficiary to some things we'll be discussing later.
Yeah, and also I want to note out, as usual, kind of a live on one style. We're not going to sit here and complain. Or try not to. I mean, I don't think there's that much to complain about, but to be fair, like I just don't want to throw that kind of energy out there. So if something, we'll say maybe this is not good for them, I know we always typically do that, but like Jen and I were having a discussion last night about like our approach to some of this, and so I think we're going to try to keep an open mind, kind of walking into all this stuff, and you should too. None of us have played a game, we don't know what's going to happen. So
yeah. There's a lot to talk about. So, Bork, where do you want to start, man?
Let's start with the spoilers, as mentioned, kind of in the structure here. So there's a lot of really cool models coming out. Okay, where do I go to look at all the things? Oh, okay, right. We have everything set up. Okay, so we're going to start off with the ones without rules. So these are coming in the future, just because we'll just talk about quickly how that's cool, So they leaked today. America Chavez, Kate Bishop, Patriot in like a box, Hulkling, Wiccan, and Speed in a box. And Jeff, I agree. If they don't make Wiccan Convocation, just stop playing.
Man, yeah.
And so my favorite box that they leaked is Blackheart, Jack-O-Lantern, and the Orb. But I'll run through them all and we can talk about it. They did some terrain boxes, then they showed Onslaught, and then they also showed the Leader, Red Hulk, and Sensational She-Hulk. And I believe that's all the new models that we have. Oh, I guess, did they leak the rules for the Sentinel, all the Sentinels?
No. No, I don't. I think the Tiny Sentinels did not get anything. No, nor do we know the rules for Bastion or Nimrod or any of those guys.
Okay,
and,
it's Bastion, Nimrod, and what's the other one? Like White?
I think it's Omega Sentinel, I want to say.
Yeah, yep.
It is.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
there it is. I found the picture. Bastion, Nimrod, and Omega Sentinel. Yeah, that's its own box coming too. So what do you guys... Oh, sorry, Sean.
No, you're good. We also don't have anything on Warriors 3, but we do have
right. Yep.
Valkyrie.
We do have Valkyrie's rules, and they're very interesting as well. It's a different kind of dynamic for a 4-threat, I assume, as Guardian.
Probably.
I assume.
I'd put money on it if I were a betting man.
Criminal Syndicate, let's go.
Yeah, criminal. So we get King the Conqueror too, but we did not get his card. We just got his tactics cards.
Yes.
So we know he's Cabal. But so before we move into the cards with rules, and two more that don't have rules are Quasar and Moondragon. We did get Adam Warlock's card.
Yes.
So before that, quickly, what are your guys' kind of favorite? Are we forgetting anything? Moonstar, Havoc, Jubilee, Multiple Man, they were leaked, but we saw painted pictures of them. Still no rules.
Yeah. The new Avengers kind of thing with I guess like I don't even want to say that they're probably like successors, like Speed is like the successor of Quicksilver, like Wiccan, the Scarlet Witch successor, right? Like
the new Avengers, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. And these are all like very new conceptually, so that's really cool because I know that I feel like the MCU is like slowly getting there to introduce these guys as a group.
Wiccan's in that show.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And America Chavez was in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
And
Kate has her own show.
Yeah, we saw Kate in the Hawkeye show, right?
Yep. She was like probably a central character in that.
Yep. I've never seen Hulkling before, so I know nothing. He does not look particularly Hulk-like, but maybe because he's just not an actual Hulk.
He's got wings. So yeah, I guess not Hulk-like.
Yeah, I think thinking about this now, I think someone told me that through osmosis, I think that Hulkling is actually an alien. I think.
So he's holding a cool sword. It kind of looks like a medieval sword. So
yeah, I know nothing about the orb. The Blackheart, I haven't seen him since Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so like that's exciting. I have no idea who Jack-O-Lantern is, but those three sculpts look.
That box looks sick.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the base sizes. Like I think like it looks like Jack's on a small base.
And then medium,
and then the orb is on. Oh yeah, that makes sense because Ghost Rider's on a 65 millimeter base, right? So that probably means that another motorcycle guy is going to be there too.
We also have Dark Dimension terrain too.
Oh yeah, I am sad and excited. Excited because it just looks dope, but at the same time, it's like, does that mean we're not going to get a Shuma Gorath?
Yeah, his is awesome.
So I don't know. Maybe this will be a fun like ultimate encounter or something like the Hydra Tank, where it's like its own like boss character that you can play against.
Yeah. I like that they ruined the Strange building. I just got my new Strange building. I think it's in my car still from the Fall Retreat.
Yeah, so everyone that has a bad experience playing on the Sanctum Sanctorum, you now have something that physically will manifest like that hatred.
Catharsis.
Yes.
What is your guys' favorite sculpts from what's been revealed?
Oh man.
All right, cool. I'll go first. I'll thin that dead air. Sensational She-Hulk's is so cool. I don't know why I like it so much. Where she's stepping on her briefcase.
Yeah, I feel like you don't get a lot of characters that are like mid transformation, right?
No, yes. That's exactly why I like it. It's a really cool pose, especially considering maybe it's because the original She-Hulk pose just isn't really anything particularly special. I like that they kind of dove into something different with this that's a little bit more unique. Also kind of feels a little bit more towards her character stepping on her briefcase like that because she's kind of comical, or at least that's kind of where we're seeing her recently.
Yeah, like it's like, hey, do you guys remember that she's a lawyer? And you want to make sure that you got the good business suit, right? You know, she was just overlooking a case, and now something happened where she has to spring into action.
Oh, I think Eric actually was co-lawyering on that case.
There you go.
That's not even the word, co-lawyering. That's all I got, though. I don't know what that's called.
No, that's real. That's real.
Exactly.
That's it.
It's now, yeah. Oh man, I'm still over the moon about Moondragon. Like that sculpt looks so cool. Like this like energy orb, like city position. When they showed that in real life, because they had like a painted version, I think, or someone, I think they had some version of that like on the shelf somewhere. I was like, oh my god, like she's actually levitating. Like it's crazy.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Voodoo, but like Voodoo, like 3 years when you got better at sculpting minis. You know what I mean?
I think it's like the next stage of like the Voodoo sculpt, right?
Yeah.
That entire Guardians of the Galaxy, like,
I mean, even the Quasar model's sick. Like those things, like just coming off with like this energy sword, it's amazing. I think in terms of personally, the ones that we didn't see, Nimrod is insane. All those Sentinels models are incredible. I really liked. I guess I don't have a favorite, Sean, to kind of summarize.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I mean, I love Blackheart. That is such a cool model, and I can just see the things that I can do to that model, like painting, and I'm like, oh yes. So, very, very, very cool and excited.
Yeah, I will commentate also that the Sentinel sculpts, like they're very like towering, right? Like all the characters are either like very tall or they're levitating in some way, right? Like a shoulder or head above like characters.
Or
so
wires or something.
Yeah, like it makes them very imposing, right? As a team.
Yeah, they really did well to boost Sentinel value here, and these models look really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm overall just like pretty impressed with what we saw today.
They've come a long way since Core Box 1, let's say, for sure.
Yeah, that is
and
true.
Even like Jubilee, like I know we saw her before, but even a sculpt like that with kind of like a simple character, like the Pulse with just her hands up, cape waving back, like I love that.
Yeah, you can feel the energy, right? That there's like a wind or like an effect that just happened here, right?
Some vibrant poses. Cool. And so, I mean, the Warlock, they're all so good. The Adam Warlock model looks incredible.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, the amount of models that are off their base, there's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of very cool action. A lot of action poses here.
The Iron people are all kind of off their base because we haven't talked about them yet because we have their rules.
They're so good.
Yeah,
we'll get to the. Actually, let's just talk about them in the models first before we walk into their rule sets. But like Iron Lad and Ironmonger look amazing. I'm not a huge fan of. I think the only model I don't like they showed today is Kang the Conqueror. Like it's okay.
I do like the stepping out of the portal effect, right? What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, he's got the Dormammu, or not Dormammu. He's got the Strange model or he's got something similar to it where he's kind of coming out of a portal there, which I think is pretty cool. I actually, funny enough, my least favorite. So my favorite model here is Rescue, but she's probably my least favorite pose because it's essentially just Tony Stark's pose from the I guess Mini Tony from
Tiny Tony.
Yeah. From the pose is very similar to his Hulkbuster when he quote unquote dazes. So the kind of like going backwards kind of deal. That the pose looks very, very similar.
But at the same time, like I think people have argued that that's actually the best looking Iron Man out of the three.
That's true. I think maybe just seeing a similar pose, but at the same time too, there isn't really a whole lot you can do with them because I guess what they want to do is have them glide off the ground or hover, and that's cool. So I guess yeah. I mean, you're right. There's probably not a whole lot you can do with it, but that is fair. I have heard people say that Hulkbuster Tony, the smaller one, is one of the best sculpts for him.
Yeah, I like that one a lot, actually.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I think it's just kind of, I almost feel like I'm seeing a direct replica with it.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Mini Tony.
Yeah, but new head.
And better rule set, technically.
That's
Mini Tony. Yeah. All right, so really cool models. If you haven't checked them out, go to AMG's website or their Instagram or something, wherever they do that. I don't really know, to be honest. I use Discords to look most of the time. But check those out. They're really cool. We did not get a timeline, unfortunately, which I was kind of hoping for. So, oh yeah, we didn't talk about Onslaught. Onslaught's sick too, by the way. I really like that model. Yeah.
There's so much going on that like somehow Onslaught gets lost in the shuffle. Like this is insane.
Yeah. And Red Hulk, we didn't even talk about him. I mean, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of his sculpt, but he is a little bit more dynamic. They've come out even a long way from like the OG Hulk, who's just kind of like has his fists, and this guy looks like he's actually kind of moving with some scenery on the base, which is really cool. So,
yeah, I think they mentioned that there'll be leaderships in that Hulk box, so like that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So let's move on to some of the rules the cards that were leaked. So we'll start with like Iron Lad. I don't know how we should do this because you can read them on your own. Let's just talk about like kind of what we think about the characters. I guess. Yeah,
maybe like overall, like, do you want to dial in on like a specific facet that we think is interesting, or like? Yeah,
let's just like pick a couple. So the rules are all up there. Let's each pick a model to talk about how we're excited, I guess, about it. And Sean, you can have rescue because I know you're like, oh.
Thank God. I was gonna call dibs, but we're good. So
yeah, Let's start with her actually. So it's Gwyneth Paltrow. So
Is this podcast sponsored by Goop? Because we should probably get a Goop sponsorship.
we are not yet. Anything could happen. So let's talk about the 3-threat Wong.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't love that she also has the if you on her builder, well, I guess it would be a gainer, but if you deal more than 1 damage, it deals 1 instead, so like a troublemaker from a Black Cat, things like that. And I think that's a fine and well attack, but she's not meant to do that. Her kit is essentially going to be pulling off conditions and healing allies, which, looking at her kit right now, which I don't know, I mean, like you said, listeners have access to this and I'm sure they've seen stuff on here, so I don't think we should go over every aspect of every superpower and thing on here because we'd be here forever. But really, the ability to pull off conditions from her makes her feel really good against things like APOC or like Web Warriors, to pull slows off, things like that, where conditions have kind of been really important right now. She feels like you said, I mean, you hit it perfectly. She's like a 3-threat Wong with an action, long move.
Mobility.
Yeah. And she also adds, she can add defense die or dodge dice, which I think actually I care more about her adding dodge dice than defense dice.
Yeah. She is kind of like someone, when you put her on the table, though, like she'll be limited because she only can gain 3 power if you don't do the action superpower. So it's like her power economy is super limited.
It is, but I would actually argue that so when characters remove special conditions, I think it's damage or special conditions, then she gets a power based off of it. If they're actually, I don't even think there's a range restriction on this. There isn't.
And the thing is, like the medic trigger on the triage like attack that she has her gainer, she can heal, like one other person, right? To do
Correct.
so.
Yeah. I guess
Correct.
Economy's not that bad.
So
I take it back.
I actually think that she has spender, power pretty easily, and her spender's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a beam that doesn't hurt your friends now.
but her builder also gives her additional power because the builder will heal, remove special conditions or power for each hit roll, in the triage attack.
Yep.
So she can balance that with rescue armor from the second paragraph on that, give herself a ton of power, I guess, right? You can kind of stack power off of that to be able to fuel her kit. So once again, I'm a big sucker for characters that can kind of make their own kit work innately, and she definitely does that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And the medvac is really interesting because like this allows you to move somebody. She takes somebody with her, right? Like it's kind of like you can shield mobile somebody as long as they've had an activated token.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to be great paired with, I think, bigger, chunkier threats to kind of keep them down. But I mean, I didn't even think about it at the time.
Extract holders, though, like 2.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. But you're right; she really is 3-threat long, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, she's going to be in a lot of lists. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. And for like a 5-6 health, 4-3-3 stat line with DR1, like she is gonna be pretty annoying to take down herself too.
Yeah, 6 health, 5-6. Yeah,
a range 4 beam for 4 power is also like not nothing. So
yeah, with 7 dice energy with the stun trigger, that's only on a wild. Like it's a good attack. Like if you really need to do it in a pinch.
Mm-hmm. And she can easily fuel. She can get that power herself. So I mean, I think she's really, really cool for what she can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think we should only talk about 3 characters. I don't want to be here forever. I was just thinking. So I'll pick Adam Warlock because I know everyone wants to talk about him. I mean, we can. Let's. Jen, what's yours? And then we'll glaze over the other ones.
What we can talk about them.
I mean, I don't want to be here for 2 hours. But
okay. Okay. All right. So let's go over the Iron Kids like really quick.
Yeah, I think we can knock out the rest of this box.
The lad. Let's start with the lad then.
Okay. The lad is great, right? Because he's got 4-3-3, 6 health on both sides, and he's got the APOC situation where I think he can. Let's see. Well, not the APOC situation, but during his turn, he can either remove a damage or special condition from himself for 1 power. So I think that definitely goes a long way to keep him on the board. And also, like, you can't stagger this dude, which is really nice. He's got displacement, right? He's got a gator that gets displaces from range 4, so it's kind of like it's like a better impact weapon because it can push a size 3 person with an energy attack. So that's awesome. Special additions on his builder, range 3. 3/7/3 for a spender that can reroll any number of attack dice. Like that's a really reliable energy spender.
Yeah.
But the dumbest thing here is
temporal diversions.
Well, that's pretty good. Because it's what is it? It's even better than
the Russian
Prism Dynamos. It's closer to Maximus's. So for a 3-threat, this guy has a Maximus thing that he can use for himself. But the really dumb thing is actually the strength actuator. So unless there's something that changes from print, currently his terrain throw is not limited to once per turn. So so he can keep spending 2 power to throw terrain at people.
Oh my god. I hope that's fixed.
Just saying, man. Like, trash cans is going to be his deadliest attack turn. If he's
or TOs are going to stop putting like little things on the board.
He feels like everything I wish original Iron Man was. He's maybe without some like cool movement triggers or something like that. But he also, if we want to talk about maybe like a slight downside to him that a lot of characters face, is that he has a lot he wants to do on his kit, and he doesn't generate power outside of the builder, which is still a good way to generate, but range 3-5 dice makes it a little harder than the others are usually like range 4 energy. So
Well, the energy blast is a gainer though, Sean. So like,
the second attack, it is true. That is true.
Yeah, and that's a good like attack.
That is true. I also kind of like that he does not reduce by 1 to a minimum of a 1, like a lot of Iron characters here do, and instead they give you the option to just pull damage off of them.
Yeah, it's kind of so if you like, it gives them some play around. Like if you put the resources in to take him out, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he has to be active to do that, so it allows you to kind of eat through him if you need to.
Yeah, which feels more fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like
temporal diverge is still really good though if you got the 2 power.
Yeah.
Just like turning up
absolutely.
people's triggers.
I mean, I can imagine. I was talking. I can imagine him in a Winter Guard list too, like the double. You have Dynamo and him turning off like rerolls. That's rerolling attacker's dice. That's pretty solid.
So this is a situation where Iron Lad gets whacked, gains a bunch of power, and then Rescue just heals him, and then he can just throw terrain like a crazy, crazy lad.
Yep.
Crazy lad.
There you go. I like it. I'm seeing the synergies. It's working.
Cool.
He's a mad
It's already
lad.
too good.
So let's move on to the biggest 3 threat in the game now.
I cannot
Ironmonger.
believe this man is on a large space as a 3 threat.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
I saw the 3 on him, and I legitimately laughed out loud.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know what's happening, man.
Like,
he's so big too. Like the model itself is just very cool model, but wow.
this 3 threat can pick up a hammer round 1, guys, or possibly get free power from a cosmic invasion. It's wild.
No one's ever playing on hammers again. Let's be honest.
I'm just saying it could happen.
Yeah.
But no, like he's a large base model. He's got flight, but he also has DR1. So 6'5" stat line, 333. So like pretty tanky. Like for a 3 threat. I'd probably tankier than original Iron Man actually because that's a larger health pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to discuss how this man has a extract steal on his spender that requires triggers to act. This is the first time I think I've seen this.
Yeah, I think so.
Not exactly.
It is really good, and I feel so bad for Kitty Pryde players now because your tactics card, it's just on this guy's like.
Hey, what affiliation is she in that didn't see much love today?
Hey, listen, X-Men are getting Jubilee, okay? And
they're making another X-Men faction. It's like, why don't you update the other ones? Come on.
Yep.
New Mutants are all but dead, Steven.
It's
They're
not
done.
just that. It's like some of the other leaderships probably should have gotten a little bit reworked. And they're like, oh, instead of fixing everything, we'll just make another X-Men affiliation.
What does the Simpsons mean? Like, it's like, oh, they seem discontent. It's like, just add more balls. Like,
yeah. Just give them more options and then they'll be okay.
It's like, do we enhance current mutant factions? No, just make more mutant factions.
Yeah. I'll do you one better. I'll raise you not fixing New Mutants and giving you this entirely different set of models. Oh well.
But Ironmonger's great. The builder is range 3/5 dice. You can pick the attack type.
And he's got a place as a 3 threat with this giant base.
Yep, he's got a place 1, but that's a place 1's all you need with a 65 millimeter base.
Yeah.
You don't even have to take blade to do this.
Yeah, he's good. That's pretty much his kit. So I guess we can move on.
It's well rounded. He's got a steal. Like I think Ironmonger's going to be like really good. Like he probably will be splashable. I think.
Yeah, he's got to pay for defensive rerolls, and Noir doesn't. Wow, what a bad model.
Yes, exactly. Noir is terrible.
No, opposite.
So, no one play Noir. He's so bad.
Man, I'm so listeners, I'm sorry, we're still trying to wrap our heads around the chrono manipulation and the steal the future.
Yeah, let's just skip that. Read it on your own. That's a lot of text.
We'll need to see how Kang is, and then we can probably revisit these cards.
He is Cabal, though. We do kind of have that. So
down. Either this means that Kang is Cabal, or both Kang and Iron Lad are Cabal. I'm not sure. So, because I
like Cabal.
I was thinking the same, Jen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna see where these guys like land, because obviously, like, the like Ironmonger is a villain, right? But Rescue's the hero. So it's going to be interesting which affiliations are going to be bolstered by these guys.
Question mark.
What's that?
Or if they make a new one? Question mark, like a leadership.
Oh, yeah. Let's also make an Iron Man affiliation as well.
I mean, at this point, they probably could if they wanted to. So, all right. So Adam Warlock. So we'll start with the gem. We got a new Infinity Gem. It's basically Malekith's leadership, but better. Without the movement. So you gain a power when a non-grunt character's days are KO'd. Adam gains a power, removes damage, or removes special condition, and then additionally, characters within 4 can't lose power as a result of enemy effects. So zapping power is off the table, which I don't really see that much, but he has it. So
you think about the sap power trigger. You think about Rogue's mutant absorption power, concussive suppression. I think.
Yeah. No, I know it exists. I just don't see it that much. But maybe this character will provide a build where that becomes a thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. If because I always thought about making a death and taxes kind of roster for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and this gem just purely just says no to that kind of build.
Yeah. Yep. So his card.
It should be also noted that the Bonded Soul Gem actually costs 0 threat.
Yeah, so just going to point that out.
Yep. So Adam Warlock is typically a 7 threat character, but he can take either the Bonded Souls, but he also could take the normal mind, power, reality, space, or time too. So he could be an 8 threat character, right, guys?
9.
He could be 9. We can have 2 Infinity Gems?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He could be a 9 threat, man.
Is this exactly the same wording as Thanos's being a immeasurable power?
I think maybe. I don't know off the top of my head.
We don't even know who that character is anyway, because it's not like he sees play.
Oh, damn, Sean. Damn.
I saw the gem, and the first thing I thought of was I laughed at Black Order. But, that's a separate conversation.
So, yeah, guys, being a measurable power is the same passive power, innate power as Thanos.
Yeah, he's actually pretty Thanos-y in general. I don't know why they did this again, but...
Yeah, his kit is actually, as we dive into it, is actually kind of similar in a few ways.
I mean, he's got Cosmic Energy Construct, which is the add dice. Well, that's a defense. It's similar, but it's for defense.
He's much more of a supportive character.
Is he worth 9 threat?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, why not?
So another note here on his card, too, is that we're seeing this Peerless. And when we get to a certain change for a certain big man that I'm in love with, this is also on his new card. We don't know what it means yet, but it's there.
We do. It's revealed since the Thanos update.
So turns out I forgot what it meant.
So listeners, our astute listeners will probably remember that Peerless means that you cannot include more than one Peerless person on the field at once.
Okay. So no Dormammu or an Adam Warlock or Thanos.
Right, so you can't put Adam Warlock and Thanos on the board at the same time.
That makes sense.
Team. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's got like a decent spender, decent builder. I don't know. He feels like fine.
We're seeing a nice little trend here going through some of these characters of bigger health pools and a lot of triggers and abilities that heal or remove special conditions. I don't know if you guys have been picking up on that, but that seems to be a little bit of a trend I've noticed on the last couple models.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
It definitely seems like in general, like the people are getting more health points or more durability overall. Mm-hmm. And maybe they're trying to reduce like more one-shot situations.
Yeah,
trying to take that variance out a little bit here. A lot more rerolling defense or dodge dice on some models, which...
Well, they might be also making up for the mistakes of making this game super killy as well by adding some defensive pieces. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's gotten exponentially killy over the past couple of years. So...
Yeah, Adam Warlock's interesting. If he doesn't hit his sap power trigger, his wild trigger on his builder, sometimes he can feel a little sad. His kit's pretty expensive, so he kind of wants to be able to pull power off of enemies and also not let them do the same to him with the gem or with the new gem.
My worry too is like there's like now they released Adam at the same time they released what's her name? Rescue. It's like I don't know if I want to put a 7+ threat in my list when I can just do some of his kit with a 3 threat. Right? I mean you don't get all the super cool things, but I feel like he's gonna have that the problem of like potentially being, replaced by a more efficient model at a lower threat.
Yeah, the thing on his kit that I kind of love is the fact that, correct me if I'm wrong, but he basically has a built-in recal on his kit with chronokinesis.
Yep, he has got a recal. Yep.
Yeah, so he can. I'm pretty sure that this is not restricted either to. No, it's not. Nope. So if he has the power, I mean it's a 4 cost, but he can do it twice a turn. I mean that's not nothing. That's
It frees up a card slot too. Like if you're just going to rely on him to kind of be your recal.
Yeah, and for his threat value, it would make sense, right? You want to get some kind of benefit out of that.
He's a walking tactics card,
Yeah.
So
yeah, and keep in mind the Bonded Soul Gem does give you an extra power still.
Yep.
So
true. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So
that's fair.
You can get 3 power a turn with 2 gems as well at 8 threat. So
yeah, to be able to use chronokinesis reliably, he just wants to hit those wilds. Plus, his spender also wants to hit the wilds in order to start healing your, pulling conditions off or healing, your allied miles. All I'm seeing here, Steven, is that APOC is obsolete now because all of these characters are just pulling conditions off of their buddies. So how about that?
I don't know about obsolete.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe more like in the ground, like toast.
I disagree, but
okay. All right.
Wow. So that was very violent of you. You're like, hey, Steven, guess what? We don't do that here. I just made that nice comment at the beginning about treating each other with respect. And
oh, whoops. I must have missed that part.
Sean wasn't paying attention. He was grinding his axe, actually, in that time.
He was breaking his APOC model. He's like, fuck this guy.
I was out in the shed. I had my guillotine set up for APOC. I was getting ready to just let it loose.
I mean, that'll be a hard matchup. I don't think it makes APOC necessarily obsolete.
No. It is just interesting, though, to see all of the condition removing and just see how that is going to impact the game going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if they bring back like some version of an EMAP too, then, again, APOC's going to have some questions to answer too. So that's how metas shift with new models and new missions. Cool. So that's Adam. And then the last one we got, Valkyrie and Elendil. Yeah.
Yep. And keep in mind that this Valkyrie is not the same alias as the first Valkyrie that you saw earlier in this game's life cycle, which means they both can be on the field at the same time.
Oh, nice. That's good.
That's a great catch. I did not know that.
Yeah, one is Brunhilde, the other one's Valkyrie.
This is just Valkyrie.
I actually haven't really read her kit yet, so you guys can talk.
So she's, first of all, appears to be on like a large base, either a medium base or a large base. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But this Pegasus is a hefty size. Man, is it gorgeous! I am a sucker for Pegaside model. Like,
yeah, it's a cool one.
Like, it's Pegaside are the single reasons why I collected Bretonnian army for a little bit, was just like I just want Pegasus Knights.
Is it Pegasi or Pegasuses?
I would say it's Pegasi. Let's say Pegasi. Yeah. So the fact that now we can play a model on a magnificent horse model that is really cool.
Yeah, I like all their flying models. Like even Malchus, like flying cat's pretty cool. It got me to like be more serious about MCP, I think. So
yeah.
Oh, look, another character that removes status conditions.
Oh my god,
interesting.
You're really. So that's one mod. I want to remind you that Pestilence is one model.
No, it's everything. It means everything.
Listen, we can't let Hank Warcrimes McCoy get away with it.
Yeah, I will say too,
Sean. Where did APOC touch you?
Yeah.
All right. So,
sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
I mean, so to talk about Valkyrie for a second, they have the Anita lift, and so this is a little better than airlift because you can pick up someone of size 3 or less, and this is a pretty large model and with a movement of M.
So you're referring to the other rule set as airlift. Who has that?
So you have Captain America Sam Wilson.
Oh, that's a generic term. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Force Tactics card.
So Ice Slide.
Yep, and there's also Ice Slide, right, for Iceman.
Yeah. Okay.
And Vulture has some nonsense, but not allies.
Yeah. There's also Angel. I think Angel also has that as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can lift a size 3 is a pretty big deal.
Yep.
And the other thing is that her first attack, the Dragon Fang, is pretty normal. It's just the basic builder with an elusive potentially. But second attack, Gia, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's really interesting.
You have to scream it.
Yeah, grrr.
There you go.
Grr.
Thank you, Jim.
It's very similar to the Craven attacks, right? Where like if you advance or place this turn, you get the 3 dice, right, to the attack roll.
She also has the mobility. She has the fun mobility of Craven that is obviously slightly better to account for her threat value. But yeah.
Oh. No, I'm sorry. Like, sorry, Craven, you need to do Kukri Strike, then you get the 3 dice, but she just needs to do a movement.
It's true, but she kind of pairs it the same way, where you do Dragon Fang, and if you get the elusive wild, it's a hit. If you get the hit wild elusive, then it already puts on Grr. You know? So
I give you a B on that one.
I'll take, that's fine. That's fine.
He's made degrees, as they say.
Yeah. And I'm sure that if there's a way to give her an advance beforehand, like that would be interesting, and you could maybe trigger this attack twice with 7 dice. But even then, you can simply just do an airlift, right? So she has 2 power, and the airlift is 2 power for her as well. So you can just move taxi somebody and still do a 7 dice attack into somebody else.
Yep.
The rage 3, which is really spicy, I think.
She looks like she's on a medium base, if I'm correct
in
saying so.
It looks medium, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, I know she is a size 4, and it doesn't always accumulate to a large base, but I was just imagining the amount of sheer mobility she would get if everything...
it might be a large base, too, because, like, Wrecking Crew, and then we have Warriors 3.
Warriors 3 looks similar. I mean, they could be on a large base. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess they're probably either both on a medium base or both on a large base, depending on how large the scale of the model is.
Yeah,
because when they show us these pictures, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, can you imagine all of the mobility on this character off of like a Ghost Rider base? Oh my goodness, for what she can do. I mean, it's still going to be great. She's going to be able to get wherever she wants. And the biggest thing about this character is that her action economy is super solid. She can do a lot of things. Her ceiling is very high.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. The Spender is also pretty solid too. A double hit trigger to get a stagger, and you get added dice equal to the defender's threat value.
Yeah,
so
I'm liking the hit triggers.
Yeah, like if you're hitting an Adam Warlock, man, you're going to get a ton of dice, right, to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reliability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not size; it's their threat level. So
take a 14 dice attack, Adam, with stagger. That's nuts. Well, I'm sure no one's going to
with this model. It's going to be great.
Yeah, this is weird. They're like giving us play and counterplay. It's interesting how lists will shake out.
To be fair, they did mention that like when they were giving the Doctor Strange rework, right? And with Leia, the fact is that it's like we want more natural predators for things that are just going to be good. So high threat models, condition models, I guess, with APOC running amok.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're just thinking about that more, right? That there should be more counterplays.
Yeah, makes sense. Someone asked, I quickly looked over our Discord, and John Falco, as we're recording, goes, how are they going to impact the metas? He's like, when's the next podcast on all this and how they're going to impact the metas? Well, John, I don't know.
Don't know, John.
There's so much stuff here. I do not have an answer, and I think I would be a little bit presumptuous to say that there was one at this point in time.
Well, John, Epoch is dead, so let's just move forward.
These characters aren't even out yet, but sure. They're probably coming out in like next summer. Got to deal with me till then, Sean. And by that time, you play a faction for a year, and at a certain point, you don't want to play it anymore. So I'm sure I'll switch. And webs, I've been playing lots of webs. So, web, yeah. I mean, Jin and I were kind of talking offline about webs, maybe depending on the missions not. We'll get there. Cool. So
I think that's all the spoilers, right?
Yep. I'll just chop this out of our document here. All the spoilers. So what was the second thing I said we were talking about?
So we can either talk about the core rules changes, or do you want to go through the models?
Oh, the document. Yeah. Let's talk about the document first, the characters, before we get to like the big kind of like fundamental changes. So I'll take this first one. I guess we'll just go through the characters. Some of them, if they're short and sweet, let's just leave it that way and move on. Like the health changes, mostly I'm thinking about, but the kind of major ones that were impacted, Dormammu, I've heard people say it was just kind of like a light touch to him. I think it's a light touch that's super impactful, having played Dormammu, but so like the ones that kind of were changed without health were what? The Sentinels, MK4s.
Yeah, so we can kind of just follow along the same document.
I was just going to highlight it, but sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, cool. So we can start with Cassandra, I guess, right?
No.
What do you mean, no?
What? She's
absolutely
an
not.
Apocalypse model. Why would you not start with Cassandra Nova?
Well, if you backlog our episodes, there may be. Dormammu was my first love in this game, where I obsessed over an affiliation. And then it was New Mutants, and it all went downhill from there.
Okay,
but
let's talk about Daddy Dormammu.
Yes. So Phil Donju, I'm going to mention him because I'll force him to listen, because he only listens to episodes apparently that he's mentioned in. So, but a long time ago, Phil's a Dormammu player. He's the first one I actually saw put Dormammu on the table to some success, and this is all a long-winded way of saying basically I fell in love with the model a long time ago. You can check out previous episodes. They're very out of date at this point. But especially now. Dun, dun, but anyway, so Dormammu's changes, while they may seem small, are kind of incredibly impactful. So the first one being sap power is changed to a skull from a wild, which is very cool because of something that'll come up later. The incantation of obliteration dropped the shield trigger, so it's slightly easier to pull off. You need a crit hit, wilds, and a skull now to get that off. The leadership remained the same, I believe. The
leadership is very different because the cleanup step is when the damage happens. So
yeah. Sorry, I was just used to my characters dying. Yeah, so you get your activations, which is really awesome because it was in the power phase before, and that was just a bummer. If you gain a bunch of power because someone did some damage, and you gain that 1 to put you at 5, and then you die if you're on 1 health. So this does save a lot of that. So you keep your activations, which is huge for Dormammu because you don't get that many. Because normally in a Dormammu list, you're running like 4 characters most of the time, maybe 5 if you go a little wider at 20. Primarily, that's the only place you can do that. But as none of this dimension is the same. 3 power for 2 bump. I don't want to do this for everyone. Field power darkness is the same, but the real cool thing here is Master of the Realm of Darkness. So the first part of it, when this character suffers damage from any effect, he gains power. He gains 1 power, so he has like an auto stun on him all the time. And then when one of his team, he still gains a power. But then at the end of this, they changed not just attacks rolling skulls, but now defense roll skulls. And the way that they did that is you add a skull result to this character's roll for each skull in the defense roll. Wait,
am I
reading this all wrong?
You've messed this all up, Stephen. I'm going to.
Yeah. Okay, Jin, take it from here.
Okay, so Bork has gotten a couple things wrong. Number 1, the hex has also been changed to a skull as well for the shuttle bolt.
Yes.
So all the triggers now are on skulls. Okay. Now, the way the old attacking used to work is I used to count your skulls and the opponent's skulls and their defense rolls as your successes, similar to a Dark Child for Magic, right? But instead, the wording here is that when attacking at the end of a modified dice step, you instead will just add one skull result to your roll for each skull in the defense roll. And when attacking, this character will add skull results to the total successes. What this means is that you're going to get extra skulls in your pool rather than counting the opponent's skulls as successes. This is important because sap power will scale up the amount of sap power depending on how many skulls you get. So the more skulls the opponent rolls and the more skulls that you roll, you're going to get more skulls in your pool, and that's going to allow you to gain more power. He doesn't count
skulls anymore, does he?
No, he counts his skulls as successes. That's the last sentence. When attacking, this character adds skull results to its roll for total successes.
Man, I'm just getting this all wrong.
Yeah, so he just adds dice. Like, he just adds skull result dice based off of the amount of skulls, which,
So they didn't give him defense tech.
They did not give him defense tech. What they simply said was that you're adding skulls to your pool for however many skull results are in the opponent's defense roll. Okay? And so between that means that skulls are going to come up more often, right? To allow you the sap power. And because they're skull results, characters usually can't roll out of their skulls results, especially on defense, which means that they're really just kind of stuck, and you're just going to get a bunch of power from them on top of just doing damage as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know. I'll probably got to put them on the table.
Dude, if only there was a gem that could stop you from getting your power sapped.
Yes. It's not out yet. Calm down, Sean. All right.
Yep, but the small changes here will mean that Dormammu is going to generate a ton of power a lot easier. Because
a lot more spenders.
Yep, and the spender is going to be way more consistent, right? So his offensive pressure is just like much higher now.
Yep, totally agree.
That felt a lot like a weakness for him, was that he was not generating the power he needed to kind of do his kit, and this totally fixes that.
Yeah, because in addition to that kind of change on his own stuff, his teammates getting smacked is also generating power. So he should, most rounds be, I don't know, I don't want to like give a number, but like be above 4. So we're hoping.
And the leadership, like he was like the last holdout, I think, as far as like power phase damage, because Cubes got rid of that. Even Bishop got that errated to not happen in the power phase anymore. So I'm glad that for quality of life sake for Dormammu players, they finally have this fixed finally for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So moving on, Cassandra Nova, the APOC buff, kind of.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, another one.
We need APOC buffs, man.
Yeah. Hashtag never punish.
So the stuff that happens with Cassandra Nova, she's got an extra health now on her injured side, so she's now a 7/7 health character for a 5/3, which is much more appropriate. They are also decreasing the movement from the mind possession. So it used to move the character's speed, now it's just a short, so that's less of a bad experience, I guess, for the opponent. So Black Hat doesn't like get yeeted to the other side of the board now when you decide to mind possess her. Flesh manipulation, the spender, is actually down to 3 power instead of the 4. So it's a cheaper spender, so you should be able to get that more often. And then I still think it's one of the best triggers in the game, the explosive force. You can push people any size within range 2 of her, and they all suffer damage. So you can clear off a secure point really easily with her. The second thing, the last thing I should say, is that telepathic cloak now, in addition to just being a stealth that's not stealth, it also will just give her an extra power during the power phase. So she actually has power now to do more of her kit, or quickly more access more parts of the kit. Before she was really starved, I think, to do her tricks and traps or her technokinetic deflection and whatnot.
Yeah, for a 5 threat, the extra power was what a lot of people wanted, and it's personally what I think she needed. Everything else is great, but being able to turn on, her tricks and traps basically is awesome. That's what people were clamoring for, and I think that is a very welcome change.
Yeah. So paint up your Cassandra Novas. Jin, you're welcome.
Thanks. I have a very nicely painted Cassandra Nova. Perhaps
I haven't even painted mine because I never use her. But now she is a 5-threat option in APOC, and in addition to that, she's going to be Sentinel affiliated. So that's the main reason I think they started working on a kit.
That's probably the case.
Yeah. And so, speaking of Sentinels, we got two new cards. The Prime was updated, and the MK4, the old big robots. So, Jen, you can again take it from here because you're doing a good job.
Okay, so some they did buff the Sentinel Mark IVs, thankfully, which people have been asking for a while. So the Mark IVs have received a physical defense swap from their Mystic defense, I think. So they're now 4/3 stat line, which is really good. They also increased the stamina from 8 health to on the front side, so they stick around longer on the front side. The Plasma Blast has been upgraded. So it used to be you start as a 3/4, now it starts at the 3/5, so the floor is much better. But the ceiling is still the same. So you only can spend 2 power to upgrade up to a 7 dice builder, instead of from a 4 dice to up to a 7 dice builder, depending on how much power you spend. So I think overall that's just much more representative of them being a 4 threat. They should have a 5 dice attack. I thought it was very silly that they only had a 4 dice earlier. Everything else is mostly the same, except they have a new innate called acceptable collateral damage. And I think Shik mentioned that to make these guys more playable, what they do is that if there's a bunch of size 1s, there are things that are just kind of in the way for people to have good landing spots with these Sentinels. They just now have a new rule that says, hey, whenever you end an advance or climb and you're going to partially overlap some terrain of size 2 or less, you just destroy those terrain features. So this is going to be very interesting because it's going to take away more throws from the board. It's going to take away less things that people can stop on. I do wonder if this makes them an interesting splash in Magneto for the power generation there too.
Oh yeah. They're a better version of Warlock.
Yep.
Kind of.
On the backside, the only difference is that the Plasma Leak also got upgraded. So it used to be a 2/4 base, but now it's going to be a 2/5 base.
Yep. Cool. And then Prime, what happened there?
Oh, let's see. Oh, and additionally, they also fixed the backside power leakage, because what they used to do, I think they used to hurt themselves when they attacked.
They did.
Yeah. So it used to be like after attack resolve, each character within 2 will suffer a damage. Then this character loses 1 power. So this version,
that's still on there.
That's still on there. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought it was one of those things where like each crit like was like really really bad.
I mean, it still makes sense. I think the acceptable collateral damage is an excellent addition to these. I mean, that feels much more thematic for them, as well as kind of, once we get to it later, but pulling terrain off the board is really going to be very critical.
Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, so listeners, I'm looking at Jarvis in real time, which is what the kerfuffle was. And it seems like Jarvis is already updated with the new cards. But I'm pretty sure that the system overload from back in the day was that for crits, like you just damaged yourself or something. It was something like very silly like that. So take it on my word for it, guys. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm 99% sure that was the case. So Prime, same thing. The builder got upgraded. So we're now starting with the 6 dice instead of the 5 dice. They fixed the leadership finally, so it works on KOs. So that's good.
Crazy.
Yep. They did nerf the power and analysis. So what it used to be was that I think you can just do it multiple times a turn. Now it only can be done once a turn.
Yeah.
They've also nerfed his health pool. So he goes from he's like 1 less health, I think, on the front side and probably the back side, I think.
I believe they also increased the range of his spender to range 4. I think it was range 3 originally.
Yes. Yep. It used to be a range 3. So both of the suppressions used to be through range 2, but now this is an upgraded range 4, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. Like that's a fantastic attack. They've also, again, modified the stat line. So it's a 4/4/3 instead of the 3/4/4, I think, from previous. So again, your Sentinels are just hardier against like collision damage and also against like physical attacks now, which I think makes more sense being giant robots. It was kind of weird that they were kind of just Swiss cheesed, like from punches earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm very pleased with these overall, and the power analysis, I think some people are going to be very sad about, but I think Mark IV is still like an excellent model at the end of the day. And at least the damage will be consistent, and the leadership being constantly active for all days and KOs, I think will be very nice for quality of life change too.
Yeah. Are those all the characters that got major changes? Just those 4? Or is Widow also one? or is it just health after this?
Emma Frost is probably the one that has the most changes, I think.
All right, so let's run through the ones that got extra health. 3-threat Widow, Hawkeye. So I'll just say it. 3-threat Widow 6/6 now. Hawkeye's 5/6 now. Fury is a 7/6 now. We'll skip Emma for now.
The shield grunts did have a change that they now instead of saying assets or civilians, they just say extract objectives in general is something that they can interact with, which is important because the new crisis is going to have the new source keyword instead of the typical extract, instead of the typical civilian asset wording.
Mm-hmm. And then Professor X is 6/6 now. Psylocke is 6/6 now. APOC buff. Hashtag never punished. And then Star-Lord is also 6. Oh, Star-Lord 6/6 and 6/6 and Yondu's 7/6 now. So, and if you didn't know what I was doing, I was saying the healthy side first and then the injured side for health pools. And then the last kind of character with some like changes, which I didn't actually read yet either, is Emma Frost.
Yeah. So for Emma Frost, they basically like admitted an oopsie because they thought, for some reason, her power was kind of read like she was a telekinetic in her normal form, and that's not the case. She's a really good telepath. So now the moves now lean into the telepath. So instead of defense rate throwing a character, like the hands off doesn't have a throw trigger, but instead it makes it so that you have a advance away and then you suffer damage trigger instead. She also gets a new superpower called Telepathic Lash. So you can choose an enemy within 3, roll 3 dice. They'll suffer a damage for each hit, crit, or wild. And then if they suffer at least 1 damage, advance the chosen character S, only once per turn. But that means that her builder can advance people, her spender advances people, and she has a superpower offensively that can move people. So she can make people just walk all over the place, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. So I guess this is technically a New Mutant buff. I'll allow it. And then her diamond form?
Yeah, diamond form. So first thing you should notice is our stat line of diamond form. It's now a 5/5/4. So she markedly better defenses, right, in diamond form. The other thing too, I believe, is the diamond form now has an option that's called Far From My Best Look. So it used to be just be at the end of her activation. You then transform her from her diamond form to her normal form. But now it also has extra text that you have the option that at the start of this character's activation, Emma Frost in diamond form, it may transform into Emma Frost normal. If it does, you lose all of your power. So for the cost of however much power you have, you can decide to just transform into a normal Emma for an activation right off the rip.
I like that. I like that it kind of gives you a choice there, but it gives you options to determine how. Because, man, her normal form is, Telepathic Lash is gross. Oh my goodness. What a great addition.
So, Sean, do you put Emma Frost normal in your Spider-Foes trap list?
No, I can't. There's too many 4 threats to compete with. But
okay.
This is also, this feels like a weird comparison to Shadow King, because if I'm familiar, Shadow King has the traps, but he advances the enemy who walks in. This is just inherently better because you can just, do it on activation. You don't need someone to walk within, and then you can just move them and hit them with damage. 3 dice is still not great, but it's still. What a great to be able to choose when to do this. That's the best part.
Yeah, I was only saying that because you have a bunch of things that advance characters, but also the fact that she doesn't allow reactives or team tactics cards or reactive superpowers. Mm-hmm. So Bill cannot DR when Emma is moving them and you activate a goblin trap, for instance.
Yeah, the synergy. Ooh, you know what? I didn't think about that.
So that's why I'm just throwing that out as maybe a fun thing.
All right, see a Silk. Silk's gone. Right. She's out.
I don't know. Hey, hold on.
Whoa, sorry. Too hot to say that?
Oh,
yeah, look at you today. My goodness.
I love this antagonistic shot.
Yeah. He woke up. He's like, you know what? I'm going to come on the podcast today and fuck Steven.
Yep. Sean has chosen violence, and I am all for this. We have chosen Oscorp weaponry.
It's true to character. I have to play the part.
Yeah, we are in a rivalry technically.
That
we
is
technically
true.
are 1-1, right?
1-0. Right
No. That second game counted.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah.
The bad
Sure.
internet game.
Yeah.
The infamous bad.
So I found
game.
out. So Sean and I played a really terrible game where my internet wasn't working, and I found out after that it's because I hadn't updated my computer, and I was also not actually connected to the 5G network. So, Jen, we tried to play a game too during that time, and I noticed a couple of days later, it's like, oh, that's why it's been so slow. So user error. Like most things in my life. Cool. So there's three cards at the end.
Yeah, one more thing about Emma Frost before we move on. Do you think that this facilitates Hellfire Club to be somewhat of a thing again? Like, do you think that she's got enough changes here that people are interested in giving that a shot?
Maybe. I think so. Only because like Emma Frost always was considered kind of more of an anchor character because like she was actively punished for being in diamond form. Now, diamond form still has a potentially a decent cost to play around, but it's a lot easier, right, to work with it, and that's very good.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
that leadership is also still incredible, by the way. Like, so if you just want to take like Emma, 3-threat, 2 3-threats for a core 10, and then just splash whatever you want. That's still like an incredible like squad like shell that you can make.
Yeah. Just like how Mike was so willing to throw Daredevil into webs, I am very much willing to just toss her into foes and give it a try. But yeah, no, agreed. She's gonna be a telepathic monster, right? She's gonna be able to just kind of move people at will.
Yeah, no, I think she feels much more correct to her character, and she's much better for it overall. So thumbs up for EMG. Also new art. Incredible.
Yeah, also being able to now throw characters in diamond form is also very, very, very like important.
Oh, I missed that, Sean. Good catch, by the way.
Yeah, so now she can actually do something disruptive in that form because nothing else on her kit in diamond form has displacement. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So it would just be so now she can just start tossing characters medium. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, yeah. So there you go. That's a good change.
I hear walk throw is a very good tactic in Marvel vs. Protocol.
Some people say that. Those people don't play APOC.
Moving on. So I'm just gonna ignore you, man.
I give you a compliment. They don't play. Technically, they would play it.
Okay, so Under Your Skin, Professionals and a Shield card were updated. A lot of text there, so we can probably just read them yourself.
So basically, it's just
and then Jin's like, "No, we gotta cover."
No, it's just clarification of language.
Yeah. Oh,
just
okay.
Like that, like Sentinel, the Sentinel card, and the Shield card are now actually Shield cards and Sentinel before they're unaffiliated. I think so. That led to some questions, I guess. And I think Professionals just has a worded clarification. Maybe it was like an alias name issue or something, but now it's like just more clear to it. I still think that Professionals still kind of dicey because you can't choose to play it after you've done damage. You have to play it, then hopefully Clint does damage during his activation or something. So,
do you guys think that because I know we're not going over characters that got stamina changes, but do you think there's a reason why Star-Lord and Yondu both got increases on their stamina? I'm totally curious because it just to me seems like these guys are kind of ranged. They kind of facilitate wanting to kind of be turrets on points and kind of move around if they can. So you don't want to be hit. So I'm curious as to why Yondu has 7 stamina. I know he's a 4-threat. This is kind of part of where I'm thinking the game wants to be able to kind of have models on the board longer.
I think that's probably what's happening. I mean, even Hawkeye going to a 5/6 is huge.
Agreed. Yeah. Yes.
Widow also being a 3-threat that just has 6/6 health as well.
Star-Lord being 6/6 on a 3-threat leader is also very crazy to me. But I mean, he's already good. Now he's even more survivable. So I don't know if the intention, if there's a reason for that intention, or there's just not something that I see that says these guys need it. I mean, it's a welcome change. I'm all for it. I'm just curious as to where their minds were at when they were kind of doing something like this with these characters.
Yeah. It seems like even the characters that we previewed earlier, it seems like overall health is just kind of going up, right? Like, the fact that rescue is like a 3 threat, right? With 5-6 health and DR, for instance, like that's pretty tanky,
Yeah, Carnage isn't special anymore.
Maybe something came up in playtesting, and I don't know. That could be another thing.
Yeah. I mean, Carnage is still like incredible because he gets to heal back all the health, so that's still something very different than anything else that people can do.
Yeah, it's just interesting that he got extra stamina and people were kind of going, what? And the change was so impactful that you're starting to see it on a lot more other characters. Maybe they saw that, but I also don't know how long this has been in the works for.
Yeah, I don't know either. But if we can think about, like, let's say Magic, right? Let's talk about APOC for a second. That health extra, right? She's now the premier war character with that 1 health, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, like, she is unlikely to get one-shotted most of the time, right?
It went a long way. Even for the New Mutants, to be fair. You're a leader not just getting 1 shot every turn.
It makes up for no defensive tech, or like lack thereof, right? Because more stamina almost is defensive tech in its own weird way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it absolutely is. Not even in a weird way. The more health you have, the harder you are to, put down.
Yeah, you'd rather have more stamina than I would have rerolls, right? It's the survivability is better off of that alone.
Yeah. Cool. So, all right. We covered all the characters, all the leaks, and now here we go. Basically. So we're kind of in a 2.0. I think I said this offline, or I said it earlier in the episode. I can't really remember. But with these changes to some of the core rules that we're going to go over, and a couple of new missions, it feels like a little bit of a MCP 2.0. I will caveat that, like, initially hearing this while I was in the whatever, I was like, oh my god, these changes are huge. I think when I calmed down a little bit, like, they're not as, I mean, they're huge, they're big changes. I just don't think it's necessarily going to, like, override, the kind of fundamentals of MCP. So if you're freaking out about this, don't. And I will start off, I think okay, let's explain how the beginning of the game works now. So I'll just run through it and then we can talk about, like, what we're thinking. So turn 0 squad building, you now bring 5 extracts and 5 secures. And so when you're sitting down at a game with your opponent, you roll for priority, you shuffle up. So, you shuffle up your cards, your extracts, or your secures. The player who wins prio still gets to pick the extracts, or if they're taking their extracts, or whatever, or their secures. And then once that's established, both opponents shuffle their 5 roster cards, and you pick 2. So say I was the player who won prio, I picked my secures, I shuffle up my 5 secures, I pick 2 out of my little deck, I put them on the table, flip them, and my opponent then gets to pick one of those. And so after that, we go about player who loses prio still picks threat level and side of the board.
No, the side of the board, I think, is now on the person that won the priority roll.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know. Okay, that's
they changed that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the threat level is still picked by the person that lost priority.
Okay, and so then you get to, okay, so that makes makes it a little different. So you want to win that roll, kind of sometimes. And then after that, you deploy your models, and you then have to re-roll priority before you start the game. This is massive.
That's huge. Holy cow.
It impacts so much of the turn 0 planning. Well, we can talk specifically first. Safe grabs. So if you're planning, I'm even thinking, like, Cat and the Spider might not be a viable card anymore because you don't know if you're going to go first, right? So that kind of guarantee, we'll start with safe grabs because that one's the big one. Like, so Namor, ASM, Angela. Man, Angela's just getting hurt over and over again with with these releases.
She was too strong. We couldn't just let her dominate the meta anymore, guys.
That's what they did all this. They're like, Angela, she's a terror on the table. Go ahead, Sean. You had something to say?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. You didn't want to make a snide remark?
We're not talking about APOC, so we're fine.
Okay. But yeah, this is massive. So for example, if you're banking on a safe grab, you deploy your safe grab in the middle. There is I don't know the percentage or the math on it, but there is a chance that you don't even get to have that safe grab. Your opponent might go first and pick up the middle. So
you can apply this to webs. Sorry, Stephen, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh,
you can
no
you can apply this to webs too for both of you, because it severely impacts who you want to place and why, because diving gets hit pretty hard, and I know they're probably trying to mitigate a lot of that, but if you're trying, like if I'm trying to dive like a lizard, or you're trying to dive like a silk or something or like a Miles 2 or something like that, and then it gets shifted and they just take that extract, well, for like that feels extremely bad. So you have to offset that now. And it's also like kind of random, right? So it's like you kind of have to plan for the potential of a shakeup.
Yep. You have to plan to lose prio and have prio simultaneously.
Well, it almost makes like turn 0 and turn 1 almost like really clean. Because I think good players are kind of take that variance and just say, well, be safe about your plays.
Yep.
Instead of kind of getting risky too early, which kind of then facilitates. It's interesting because then that facilitates more fighting without going up on extract leads if you're stealing and trying to do things like that. But then they're adding more stamina and defensive tech to characters to keep them alive longer. So it's a very interesting way that they're kind of running all of this.
Yeah. Like I guess at the end too, maybe we never mind. Like throughout the episode, like so, we started off with the leaks and whatever. We moved on to the new characters, but like Sean, noticing those trends, like they're shifting this game. I think it's very obvious when you look at everything together that they're trying to do something different here than MCP has been doing.
I like the ability to. I like that you now get 5 extracts and secures. That's personally my favorite part of all of this, is now that you have 5 and your opponent basically picks the one that they prefer out of the 2 that are shuffled. Because let's be real here. If you're picking 5 secures or extracts, there's going to be 1 or 2 on your list that aren't technically going to be like amazing for your squad, right?
Yeah.
So it also kind of allows things that don't get played often to get played, because now they're probably seeing things where take for instance like you see a lot of wedding party, or you see a lot of like guardian saves and things like that, right? So they're saying this is that way of almost making it wider, and sometimes you'll be forced to take some random secures and extracts that maybe people aren't stuffing in their lists because there's more of a chance with 5 instead of 3.
Yeah.
Which then promotes different boards, different setups.
It also allows you like to really have some agency in like missions that you don't ever want to play on.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I mean, so when you said earlier, when you were talking to Stephen, and you said about when you're talking about hammers, I'm thinking, man, I bet you a lot of people are going to be throwing that back in, because what else are they going to stick? Like if they really like that style of play, that's going to go right back in. They're 5.
Well, it's like nice because I guess APOC's a good example here, but you see APOC like show up on the table, and you're like, APOC on hammers is a nuisance, or criminal on hammers is a nuisance, and you like lose. I don't know. You're forced to like they get prior or something, and they take their extract. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But you see hammers in there. You always have the option to be like no, or like Kingpin scoundrels, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So you don't ever have to play on that again, which is an interesting conundrum when you're building your list. Is you almost you kind of have to have a plan for everything, like all of the missions, because you don't know what you're going to get, because now it's a bigger pool. So this is all like a long-winded way of saying like you have to kind of have like an all-round list. So like if you're running a mono Kingpin, like you might have the option to pick a good one, but no one's ever going to pick your scoundrel. So your best missions out of your lineup, pretty much, right?
Does this make picking extracts almost feel worse? Like, does it make you always want to pick secures, because the fact that you have to now re-roll after deployment, your whole extract plan could get shaken up. So does this lean more into secure play?
I think it depends on the other person's extracts, right? So, for instance, coming from a lot of like high scoring teams, like Inhumans or Webs, I think I would still always take my extracts a lot of times because, like, I know I want a certain amount of available points, right, from an extracts perspective. And most of the secures are not going to be 3 points. And if they are, I now have the ability, right, to choose not to play in, like, if I get like intrusions and Infinity Formula, well, great, I can just choose to go in Infinity Formula instead.
Yeah,
right, if they choose to.
Right. Yeah, you're forced not to play on that terrible intrusions.
It means you're going to have less bad missions, like overall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know that like playing against Inhumans, like Senators is like awful. You never have to pick Senators, right?
Yeah.
As a final like extract.
You also make a good point because it also means that you don't only are forced into F secures or extracts, I guess, right? Because there's 4 of them?
There are, yes. So, like before the new webs came out, I think web wars like largely solved their crisis selection. It was usually like, hey, take the 2 Fs and a 4-point thing of score. Let's say it's scientific samples, and then it was always like riots, scoundrels, Infinity Formula, or Cosmic Invasion. Like those were like the 4 secures you kind of just rotated between. So now it forces, like you said, like a wider, like I guess like discipline of understanding like how to play these more missions, right? And just having a more well-rounded vision of your capabilities.
Yeah, you're not locked into an F.
And having a more well-rounded roster, like say you splash. I'm not saying someone or multiple people on this podcast do this, but say you splash Nick Fury for the Senators. You might not. I mean, I don't do it just for that, but like say you were a person who was like Nick Fury webs on Senators is amazing. Your opponent's going to see your Nick Fury in your roster and go, you know what? We're not playing on Senators. So you have to kind of have this different mindset. There's also this weird thing that I'm just realizing too is like taking characters so that your opponents don't pick something that you have a better game plan for, but they don't know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be it's a new kind of knowledge check, right? So before it was just like, what are guaranteed turn 1 stuff you have to have a knowledge check against, right? Now it's like, well, what are the different permutations that we can have, right? And and now since you have more agency in selecting your opponent's crisis, you can now have a more informed decision too if you understand your game, their game plan.
Yeah, and you can't ever bank on having prio, which also just throws a kind of wrench in kind of who you bring sometimes. So
yeah, I think durable midline grabbers are still going to be good no matter what.
Yeah, I agree.
But now, like, the safe grabbers, like, they might have taken a hit. Or someone suggested that like, you double down on the safe grabs, right? Now you just deploy 2 safe grabs.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm thinking about it, my brain goes to like Lizard, right? If Lizard can't pick up an extract, he's kind of bad. So if you're not doubling down on that, then you kind of don't play him, or depending on, other scenarios in the game that might warrant it. But I agree with that completely.
Yeah. Okay. Any more thoughts on this? Was I think the biggest thing so far? Well, no, I can't say that. This is one of the biggest things.
No, this is really big. Turn 0 like changing is huge. I think the few snippets because I unfortunately was talking with friends like while we're listening to the cast. So sorry, Will, but I did hear Will say that it's like I think they want 20% of the game to be turn 0, turn 1, and they want 80% of the game to be the rest of the game. So if we add a lot more variance and a lot less dependability on the turn 0, turn 1, then they just want people to make more tactical decisions versus like, good planning, right? Instead. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like being able to play more about the evolving situation of the game versus like having a set plan at the beginning to really get a big one over the opponent and then just keeping that, that lead,
Yeah, they want to reward good like during gameplay rather than good planning.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like when Will Schick said something.
Yes. I mean, but good planning is still going to take you a long way, right? It's going to put you on a good footing. But now it's not as oppressive, let's say. I think that's the idea. So that's the initial first take. We'll see how it pans out. But I think I feel good that it will do that effect for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of cool because it can kind of clean up errors of maybe deployment. Maybe if you had deployed incorrectly and you were worried about making a mistake, if you don't end up getting prio, then maybe that kind of like wipes that. It's just a kind of a thought there.
Yeah, it can definitely like allow turn 0, turn 1 to be a little bit more forgiving, I think.
Mm-hmm. Or you kind of start bunching models more towards the center, right? Because you're
That's
not
what
sure
I was
what's going
thinking.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, so how do I deploy? Oh, everything just goes in the center.
I mean, that could be fair. Maybe, I mean, that could also speed up a game too if they're worried about something like that, where you kind of just don't need to be. You can kind of pick your sides, but kind of still stay within, and go from there.
Yeah,
which is it is really interesting to think about.
Yeah. Okay. So I think right now, while we're on kind of turn 0, turn 1 stuff, we'll cover the new missions, and then we'll move on to some other changes. So we got 1 extract, 1 secure, which are legal as of right now. So if you listen to this in an hour or so, whenever I release it, and you hear these words, you can log on to TTS and, well, okay, you might not be able to log on to TTS yet and do this, but you can definitely pretend to do it, or whatever. I don't know if Carl's updated this stuff yet. So, but anyways, we got 20 threat extract, jailbreak leads to mass mutant escape, and then an 18 threat secure lockdown security system stimmy breakout. If you did watch the reveal, we're going to be a little repetitive. These are very different extracts and secures. So I'm going to try to like summarize no, Jen, you do it because you're better at this.
Okay. All right. Should we do the secure first or the extract first?
Do the extract, I guess, because that's the order they're in on the sheet I'm looking at.
Okay. So there is a new keyword type of extract that's called source extracts. Okay. And the way sources work at a big level is the fact that these are going to be extract points that are on the map when you set them up, and they're just going to stay where they are for the most part, it seems like. And what's going to happen is you go up and interact with these points, so instead of taking that extract with you, they will generate another token that will be specified on the crisis card, and that's going to be the thing that your character actually holds. Okay, and it seems like you're going to score 1 VP as usual for that extract that you're holding. But what's going to happen is during the cleanup phase, all of those extracts that are on characters are just going to disappear. Okay, and then you can then try to generate another extract from that source point again. It should be noted that once the source point has an extract taken from it, that they essentially cannot be interacted with again for that round, and they'll refresh basically each round. Does that make sense?
Yep. Do you still score it if you get KO'd?
Yes, because you still have to hold it you still have to hold something, right, to score the VP. So,
okay.
So in this instance, okay, we have cell tokens, right? So jail cell tokens here, right? All right. If you go up and interact with them, you'll exhaust the cell token, and then you'll get a prisoner token that's a civilian that's going to be on your person. Okay. And that's going to be a token that's going to, drop or be picked up as normal for that round. But it specifies that during the cleanup phase, all the prisoner tokens that are the civilian extracts will just disappear from the game. And then you will flip the exhausted cells to be unexhausted again in the next round.
Okay. So you can like steal these.
Yep. You can steal the prisoners. Black Cat can still steal a prisoner for that round, for instance.
And if you KO, they drop them.
You KO and drop them, then you can just pick them up again, but with a different character.
If you pick up a prisoner, you exhaust a cell and pick up a prisoner, I'm assuming that somebody else, your opponent, can't go up to the same extract and pick up a different. Yeah, so once you pull it, it's gone.
Yeah, it's 1 per extract container.
Yeah, and the point is exhausted. It doesn't go away from the map or anything. It just you just put something probably there just to mark that it's exhausted for this round. You can't interact with it to get another prisoner from it because the jail is essentially empty.
It resets.
And it resets each round.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's cool. That's probably going to be a nerf to webs that want to hold on to objectives and just kind of like play keep away. This forces you to come back in, right, and dip in to pick up a new extract each round.
This is why Spider-Verse is a thing now, because it promotes webs that can stay in the fight.
Yes, I think so as well.
Yeah.
So which is a good. It's almost like maybe they planned this? Question mark.
Perhaps.
Hashtag never punished. and then cool. So and then we have the new secure. So that was at 20 threat. That new extract.
Yes.
Then we have the 18 at 18. We have at 18 threat. We have the new secure.
So lockdown, security system, stymie, breakout.
Mhm.
Essentially, welcome to Shatterpoint in your MCP.
Yep.
So
they stole game design from their own game.
Essentially did. So these are secures in the sense that you just have to have more bodies on these than the other people, right? So it falls into more healthy, injured, contesting, etc. But here's a couple changes to that. So instead of contesting within range 1, you now contest within range 2, and it calls out specifically for this crisis only. So that's very similar to Shatterpoint. And also, what's also going to happen is that every round during the cleanup phase, you will roll to see if there's going to be, your roll and one of these 4 cells are just going to be unable to be contested next round.
Yep. Turns it off. So you have to shift the way you're fighting. I really like this one. I'm going to be honest with you. This was one of the more exciting things I've seen because I love that kind of mechanic in Shatterpoint, and you also still get to pick your activation order in this game. So I don't know. It's really cool. I love to see it.
Is this the same shape as Guardian saves?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks familiar. My 2 thoughts on this is one is that Toad hates this perpetually forever, because of the always within 2 anyway. So everybody gets the Toad ability here. And 2 is when things change, it forces you to rotate, right? So characters like Kingpin and things like that don't love when you have to kind of leave points and rotate off of ones that no longer count.
Yeah.
Which promotes a lot of movement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means the new Valkyrie would love something like this.
Yes. I think I'm going to lean this probably more to fighty characters, right? Because the force rotation means that after round 1, there's only going to be 3 available secures. So it's 4 points you can score in round 1. But anything after round 1, there's only going to be 3 points that you can secure.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a much more slower game.
Within 2 also means that body blocking becomes harder, and it also means that models become more spread inward, which means that, like you said before, this can promote attrition.
Yep.
Just because, you're not too far off both points kind of coming down inward, so it means that characters are probably able to hit each other easier.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of these. I kind of wish they had released these in the last update and then done more of them for this next season. So maybe that'll be a thing. I really like the idea of having something like this in your lineup.
This is really successful with Shatterpoint, just as an FYI. Things like this, is generally well received by the community for the way it works. So I think this is kind of why they're giving it a go here. It's almost not like a test. It's kind of like, hey, this has been tried and true and it works, and we're going to bring it over.
It's funny you say that because in my mind I'm thinking, so it's often said that in AOS they test out rules for their Premier system for GW for 40K. We're kind of seeing that a little bit.
I have also heard that too. Yep. The guinea pig.
Yeah, so if it works in Shatterpoint, it's cool, then maybe we'll see it in MCP now. So.
Yeah, and Shatterpoint, I think, originally was kind of like a weirdly different, refined way of MCP, where they tried to make a game that's a tad bit more balanced. So if it works over there, I think this is perfectly fine for what it is.
I think, I really love both of these missions. They do different things and they affect teams differently, but overall, I think they're both great additions.
We should also mention, and I don't know if we did, but that for the Jailbreak new extract, that if you're not ending your activation, what is it? If you're
5,
if you're within 5 of a battlefield and not within 1 of the cell, then you just drop it at the end of your turn. So positioning is also important when you grab.
It makes you go to the middle again.
It discourages fleeing.
Yep.
Yeah. And either that or you just make sure you stay within 1 of the prison cell points, right? And which are still pretty far spread out on their own, but it just tightens the map a little bit more, right? Of how far people can go. So you won't see players going to the edges, right, with the characters, unless they can do it out of activation.
And it does say "and," so it means that you would have to have both be true to not drop. So It says if it's not within 5 of any battlefield edge and not within 1 of a cell, it drops. So you have to both have to be true in order for you to keep the prisoner.
Oh no, to drop the prisoner.
Or yes, correct.
Yep. So
yes, correct.
Yeah, so you can go to the middle. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can go to the middle. You can end within 1, but and since it is at the end of activation, like I said, if you have, let's say, a shield mobile to like put someone in the corner when it's not through activation, that's also something you could do. But I think that's going to actually discourage that, since the fact that these extracts are going to just refresh, right? They're going to be each round, so you can't just keep doing that unless it's like the last round of the game. If that's going to win you out.
You can't even do that in the last round in this mission, which is kind of nice. And Sean, guess who's in the middle? Just kidding.
Oh, really? Who's in the middle? Huh? The blue guy. The big blue guy. Yeah, really. He's the one I should be worried about now.
But yeah,
cool.
More engagement, and I think that's overall like a good thing for the game, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to hopefully play on one of them tomorrow against Eugen. It'll be fun.
Yeah, you can see with the changes where they're leaning, like with the new character cards and kind of changes that they're making. You can see where they're directly trying to lean this into, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked about that. So I guess one of the other big things is, as you may know or may not be aware, a lot of us have complained about the amount of damage from throwing terrain and other characters into each other that this game tends to stack up. There's a lot of implications in what happened here, but essentially the change was, if you haven't heard, you probably have, that any size damage or character, so when you take a collision, it's 3 damage flat. If it's size 1, if someone throws a size 1 piece of terrain into you, 3 damage. If someone throws a size 4 character into another character, it's 3 damage, and 1 on the one who got thrown. So does anyone throw size 5s? I can't remember off the top of my head.
You have Agents of Smash. Again, just terrible prejudice against Agents of Smash as a viable card.
This nerf was just for that. But more importantly, too, it does bring up a little bit of a question around brace for certain affiliations. But basically now you're not like getting 5 damage from a size 4. You're not seeing 6 damage from a size 5 with Agents of Smash. And you're kind of just getting a consistent amount of damage every time. So, which I love. I think it's a good. I think it's a good change here. Yeah. What do you guys think?
So again, this is another buff to APOC, because now I can't just throw a terrain at Toad to kill him when he just picks up an extract.
Hey, no, APOC didn't get buffed at this at all. No way.
Lies and slander.
Lies and slander, Bork. I see what you've done here.
Hashtag never punish. That's the 3rd time I said it. Yeah. I love that phrase right now. It's just on my little caveat of words. But no, I mean this. Yeah.
No, I mean, so this is great because now it's very easy to track. Like it's much easier to explain, right, to people getting into the game, that this is an easier collision rule to follow. It will increase the importance of size 1 scatter terrain, I think, as far as like damage options goes, but also makes it so that you're not afraid to put more large piece of terrain on the board as well, right? Because like whenever I put a board down with like 3 size 4s, I was like, man, yeah, if there's like an Angela or a Rhino like that's on this team, it's going to be really bad for the other team, right? Because that could potentially one-shot characters.
Yeah, I think that's really good to note. Like you can do like a city street without worrying about getting hit by every piece of terrain on the board, and have it be like nice and thematic. You could do a terrain that's all like a lower level where it's just like a street light fight, and the terrain's still impactful no matter the size. I do think this raises a question. I don't know if this was their solution for everyone taking brace. I'm not sure, maybe, but like, it does feel like a good change. So, but that being said too, I guess, it does impact what I think the conversation, and I don't have an answer for this, but like the conversation around maybe standardizing tournament terrain again, or re-standardizing it, or figuring out what that kind of looks like. Excuse me, because like you still probably want a good mix. But those size 1s that are just kind of thrown down by TOs on tables may have to be rethink rethought.
So I imagine every Magneto player is going to come up to me and just like, Jen, what are you doing? I need more size ones scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
To make sure that, I have ammo for everything.
Yeah, I don't like that, but that might be a conversation.
But at the same time, stocks up on Rhino and Jugs, because when they stampede or, I'm the Juggernaut, they can just destroy a bunch of stuff in the way.
I think you still have to have a balanced amount. Yeah,
the Sentinels too. Yeah, they can just clear away terrain by walking.
Everywhere. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's gonna be extremely impactful.
Yeah, Warlock might have gotten a buff there too. You guys don't want to mention my favorite character, but Warlock.
No,
I love
don't.
you.
No, you're right. I don't.
you keep telling me, you keep like DMing me, you're like, play New Mutant. I thought you were playing New Mutants. You're playing New Mutants, and then I'm like, I'm going to play APOC. And you're like, ah.
Yeah.
And then you show up angry.
One easy way to ruin my day.
Yep. Listen, I'm excited for Sean to get, 3 damage, was it Trick or Treats?
Yeah.
It
makes me feel much more justified in playing him. Not that it hasn't already been, but yeah.
Yeah.
Things like that are going to be great for sure. It also is going to incentivize not worrying about your guys being thrown into you. Like you can take bigger size threats, right?
Like someone who's blue.
Yeah.
I hate you.
No, but you're right. Like, because like one of the biggest issues that I previously in my old life, when I was running Dormammu, Groot has his spender can throw Dormammu, and that caught me off guard. That's not really the point here, but like taking six damage on like one of your 3-threat horsemen, or Freudian slip. One of your 3-threat. One of your 3-threat, I don't know, buddies, I guess, for Dormammu. It's just his buddies.
I'm convinced that these rules were all made to benefit Sentinels because they realized they screwed up so bad, because the Prime Mark IV is a size 5. So it hit, not only can you destroy terrain, but now you can throw Sentinels into your
I don't know if they did it just for Sentinels, because this has been a problem for a while.
The funny thing is Prime can't destroy terrain. Only the Mark IVs can.
That's true. But it's just kind of funny how all these things work to benefit them particularly. I'm not saying that they are, but it's just kind of because now you have a new Valkyrie that's a size 4, right? And then you've got
Hey Sean, who's your favorite model from this lineup? I've only mentioned her like 4 times.
It's Rescue. We already talked about her.
I don't know about that. I think you're screaming Valkyrie right now.
What about Ironmonger, who's also a size 4? Like, I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah, that's true. No, having that ability to like know it's flat 3 from an incoming model does like allow you to not be so worried. Like, remember Jin at Squad Goals like took Indom and Brace because APOC was going to get thrown around everywhere?
Yep.
So it is now a little less of a concern. So you can maybe feel comfortable bringing that 3-threat size 4 without, necessarily. It doesn't deter you from doing that necessarily. So
I was deterred from taking Jugs in my webs list for like a long time because I had one game where someone's store went absolute wild, got 2 double throw triggers and his normal throw. He dazed 3 of my 3-threats using my own Juggernaut.
Yeah. That'll be a little harder to do. So
what happens when I throw a Wasp or Ant-Man into like a Hulk and he takes 3 damage?
He takes 3 damage, and it's very funny.
Yeah, there you go. Love it.
Yeah, that is kind of cool now too. On the opposite end, you can throw your small models.
Dude, you can throw Rocket into somebody. He doesn't take collision damage, and then they take 3.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. Look at that.
Yeah, but you can't throw your own models because you have to play enemy models.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so the last small piece is areas and beams now don't hurt your friendly models.
Oh, that's a great quality of life change.
That is a huge change.
Huge.
Yeah, it's nice.
But that's gonna be a nerf to Rhino and like Red Guardian guys. I don't know.
Yeah, who can still get damage from being from being hit in the beam, even if it's your own.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know about this, guys.
There's a lot of ups and downs here on Rhino. I'm gonna say net neutral on him. I'm just gonna go even.
Yeah, no, he's definitely good. There's one more thing, Steven, is that the grunts no longer have to count for if you can pass or not. So
I think you told me that after I made the document, so I just forgot to.
You're not actually punished anymore for your grunt characters.
Yep. So Red Skull 2 buff. Thank you.
Red Skull 2 buff. Nick Fury buff. Let's go.
Thanks, AMG. RS2 is definitely not broken.
No, you just run APOC into him. He's balanced.
Well, that's true.
Disgusting.
You bring up a good point.
Disgusting.
Sean's over here like his snowflake mind's like, oh, they're talking about these middle models. Meta models.
Give Red Skull 2 the peerless keyword, and I'll be happy.
But yeah, that's
not a bad solution actually.
Yeah, but both the beams and the grunts, like just not hurting people. Again, that's I think going to be easier for new players, right? To like get into this game and start playing more.
New players, Jin. There are times where I have to sit there and count the amount of models and be like, wait, I activate, you activate.
Aren't there
and current players? Yeah, but it's there's less feels bad moments. I think, right, is what the core rules are saying.
Aren't there models in this game where they have area attacks that specifically state that when you use it, it does not harm allies?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Loki, for instance, I think calls that out.
There you go. Okay, so that's funny.
Well, it's just kind of a game changes. There's some stuff that's just going to be like that.
Yeah, and I think was it the Doctor Strange one? Like also calls out specifically that this will heal instead of damaging them as well.
Yes, the salve or whatever it is, all the condition healing and his. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. So any kind of or final thoughts?
New Dormammu isn't good because he can't remove conditions from himself.
Okay. So Jin?
This is a wild world. I cannot wait for PAX Unplugged to see like how many people are just going to try like new crazy things.
Oh, this is going to be nuts. Yeah, this tournament is going to be nuts.
Yeah, I was expecting to be like, it's like, okay, this is a relatively soft, like okay, we know what the top dogs are. We know what the crisis layouts are probably going to be, so I have to prepare for it. And this is just like flips the table on like everything.
Here you go. Yeah. Will loves it. He was loving it.
I love it too, because like anyone that had like such a solid plan going into this is now like, it's like, I don't know what to do. It's like,
what if you were one of those people with a solid plan?
I mean, you play APOC, there's no plan, there's no think, you just do.
If your plan was to bring Hulkbuster, then the plan continues. Not deviate from the plan.
Yeah.
I actually had a listener, Rob, who's going to be on talking about painting in the next month, a couple of weeks actually. He like messaged me right. He didn't say anything about anything else besides, "Yo, Hulkbuster, I can run him for real." Like something along those lines. I was like, "Yeah,
what a dream come true.
The dream's alive, baby."
No, for real. And listeners, if you're an APOC player, you're fine. Don't worry.
No. Yeah.
Balls here.
APOC is, what APOC does well? Plays every single mission pretty decently, so you'll be okay.
Yeah. So what this means is that there's going to be a lot more, like, I guess, momentum shifts that can happen, like, during the game. And the turn one isn't as solid anymore. And I think that's generally going to be good for keeping players very engaged throughout the match, even though they're already pretty engaged throughout this game, I think.
Yep, agreed. My final thoughts are, wow, what a day. This is the biggest thing I've seen in MCP so far. Huge shakeup. Totally feels like a very new game. Very refreshed. Like, I'm pretty excited for Adepticon 2, and that's not that far away. So, like, a lot of stuff happening. A lot of cool new models and, like, great new things to paint, a ton of experimentation to do on the table. And, we mentioned this a few times too, like there's some stuff retroactively they've released, like webs, for example, where now like the pieces are starting to fit together and you're like, oh, so you got to revisit your, your old list, even with some of the new stuff. It's crazy times. Have fun, doing this all. This is part of the main reason, when shakeups happen like this, like, don't complain. Like, this is a lot of fun. Like, the ability to like come to this game with new eyes, like really new eyes, and like try new things and like figure it out. Like, that's, I think, why a lot of us play, right? So
yeah, 100%. Like, I think you should be excited that this is a shakeup and it will give you new things to explore, right? And that's awesome.
And no matter what anyone says, and even what we said, none of us know what's any what's good at all. Like we have certain, guesses, whatever, but like there's nothing set in stone right now. And there's like 200 characters to figure out, in certain contexts. So like, don't be like discouraged if you hear something real quick, because like when a game changes like this, like it's the Wild West, man. Like experiment and have fun and like enjoy MCP again with like a fresh set of eyes. Because that's what that really is some of the the beauty of a shakeup like this, because it's kind of nuts. So
it'll be cool to see what people throw together, because that there's going to be some kind of interesting niche plays or things that it almost makes a lot more models. I mean, almost every model in this game is viable, but it kind of adds to that, which means you're going to see basically everything get played, right? Especially with turn 0 and 1 being radically different. It's going to allow you to see a lot of
what they do. Like if you don't know a character, you haven't seen a character since Core Box 1, just do a quick refresh with your opponent as well, because some stuff's going to come out of the closet that none of us have even touched on or expected, right? Which is awesome. Like players in this game are very innovative, so you'll see a lot of really cool stuff come up from the cobwebs of MCP. So
yep. Widow 2 is going to be interesting for me. Like I actually really want to put it on the table now because of that, and that's a great thing to feel, right, on a model that you feel like you kind of ignored for a while. So I'm excited. It's going to be
especially like the characters you love. If you like love a certain character, if you love a certain affiliation, I'm sorry, maybe something will change. But if you love a certain character, it's a new mutants reference.
If you hate Black Order, then you're feeling pretty good today.
What is with you?
Also, if you hate Sin and Viper, you're also feeling great today.
Who does it?
Who are they?
Sin and Viper. I actually have some psychotherapists I can recommend to you. Because that seems a little weird to me. But have fun. Play MCP, and there'll be an episode on Thursday. I think I scheduled it, so it's the Winter Guard one coming out with Ben Laka. Wow, I can say this and know for a fact that is the episode that's coming out. It's crazy.
Baby steps.
Yeah. And then the week after that, Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving as well to our listeners if you're American. But the week after that will be a Shatterpoint episode. Every 3 weeks we're doing that as a reminder. And then after that, we got some good stuff in the works. So you can follow us at Alive on One on our Facebook, or Discord is linked below. Our email is aliveon1@gmail.com, and at Alive on One is also our Instagram handle. Please leave a review on Apple and Spotify or wherever you prefer to listen. And Godspeed. It's been a while since I've said this. Godspeed, Dormammu. Bye.